First up, the long-standing wait for the Kartarpur corridor that lets the Sikh pilgrims visit the iconic Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan will end soon. Recently, moves from both India and also Pakistan have bolstered the hope for many pilgrims. Now, India's Vice-President M Venkaiah Naidu will, of course, be laying the foundation stone for the construction of the Kartarpur corridor today. And Union Minister for Transport Nitin Gadkari and also Union Minister of Food Processing Hardeep Singh Puri and Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh will also be present on the occasion. Now, the Indian government arrived at the decision on the 22nd of November, signalling the beginning of the corridor construction to mark Guru Nanak Dev Ji's 550th birth anniversary in 2019. Meanwhile, remember, Pakistan had actually extended an invitation to Indian leaders for a ceremony marking the beginning of the work on the Kartarpur project. Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj has responded to Pakistan's invite, saying that she would not be able to attend the Kartarpur corridor groundbreaking ceremony, but has actually named two ministers who will represent India at the ceremony. Union Ministers Hardeep Singh and Hardeep Singh Puri will be attending the ceremony on the 28th of November in Kartarpur. And India's decision to send its two ministers to attend the groundbreaking ceremony has been welcomed from the Pakistani side. And what you're looking at are live visuals from Gurdaspur in Punjab, where the groundbreaking ceremony is expected to take place in some time. And you can look at the number of dignitaries who've come there. Vice-President Venkaiah Naidu will, of course, be present at the foundation stone laying ceremony, and also Amarinder Singh, the Chief Minister of Punjab, is also present. And besides Amarinder Singh and Venkaiah Naidu, we also have Nitin Gadkari and a number of other dignitaries. Now, this, of course, is being seen as a key moment in the relationship between Pakistan and India. Remember that hug which turned very controversial when Navjot Singh Sidhu had gone for the inauguration ceremony of Imran Khan. He had hugged Qamar Javed Bajwa, the Chief of Army Staff in Pakistan, when Qamar Bajwa had proposed that the Kartarpur corridor should be opened up for the Sikh pilgrims and they should be given free passage. Now, it is at that time that Navjot Singh Sidhu had hugged Qamar Javed Bajwa, the Pakistani Army Chief, which had resulted in a huge controversy. But now it appears that the entire controversy has died down, and in some ways Sidhu has come forth and said that he feels vindicated, that the step that was initiated by him on that day has actually paid off in many ways. And also the Indian government has responded in a very positive manner. They've agreed to build the Kartarpur corridor with Pakistan, which will allow the Sikh pilgrims to visit the very important Gurudwara that is on the side, on the other side in the Pakistani border. And also India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi had hailed this Kartarpur corridor and had likened it to the fall of the Berlin Wall in Europe, terming that greater people-to-people contact is something that he expects will improve the India-Pakistan relationship as the people would actually come closer to each other. And this, of course, is the groundbreaking ceremony that is being presided by Vice-President Venkaiah Naidu.
Shri Kartarpur Sahib Lange da Ajo इथों नींह पत्थर रखा जाना इस इतिहासक धरती तो बाबे नानक की चरण छो धरती डेरा बाबा नानक तो करतारपुर साहब की संगतां हुण दर्शनां लई जा सकणगीआं। लंबे समय तो सिख संगतां दी यह अरदास सी जो अज पूरी होण जा रही है।
So this is a very key moment in India-Pakistan ties. This is a significant thaw that one can expect between India-Pakistan ties. With the opening of the Kartarpur corridor, the people-to-people contact between the two nations will, of course, increase. And this was something that was likened by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the fall of the Berlin Wall between East and West Germany, which later went on to even result in the unification of Germany. And this is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had perhaps hinted at likening this event to the fall of the Berlin Wall. And in many ways, this is a significant step forward for India and Pakistan. But remember, the relationship between the two nations has been on pretty choppy waters. But it appears that with the opening of the Kartarpur corridor, this of course will lead to a lot of bonhomie between the two nations. It of course will significantly increase the people-to-people contact. And also Pakistan, as a gesture of goodwill, had also pointed out that they would allow the Sikh pilgrims to travel to Kartarpur, to the Gurudwara, without any necessity for a visa. And this of course has been responded to by the Indian side. India and Pakistan together will be constructing this Kartarpur Sahib corridor, and this is the ceremony that is taking place on the Indian side of the border in Gurdaspur. The foundation stone laying ceremony is presently what is underway. The foundation stone will be laid by the Vice-President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, and several other dignitaries are present at this event. Now, Pakistan's Foreign Ministry had also sent out an invite to India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj to attend the inauguration ceremony for Kartarpur corridor on their side on the 28th of November, that is day after tomorrow. However, Sushma Swaraj cited that she was already occupied with prior commitments, but has nominated two other Indian ministers, central ministers, to in fact attend that ceremony. So a clear thaw, one would say, between India and Pakistan relationship. A greater people-to-people contact is something which of course a lot of people have spoken about, and this has now in many ways will be viewed as a step in the right direction to restore normalcy for India-Pakistan relationship. And all of this is being done in view of the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev, which is slated for next year, and one expects that the Gurdaspur corridor, Kartarpur corridor will be ready by then.
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਫਤਿਹ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ
And in many ways, this is also being described as the beginning of an unprecedented form of diplomacy. And on Wednesday, of course, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan will be joined by two Indian ministers to lay the foundation stone at the Pakistani side. Now, this ceremony that is taking place is happening on the Indian side at Gurdaspur, and Vice-President Venkaiah Naidu is, of course, doing the honours today. And this Kartarpur Sahib corridor will, of course, be ready, one expects, by November 2019 to mark the 550th anniversary of Guru Nanak. And to discuss more on this, we are also joined in by our senior political affairs editor, Kartikeya Sharma. Good afternoon to you, Kartikeya. This is a significant step forward for India-Pakistan relationship.
Why I wouldn't say significant is because when it comes to Kashmir, or when it comes to the core issues of terrorism, or when it comes to not attacking India in multilateral forums, that has not changed with Pakistan. In fact, in past 4 years, if you would have noticed, Saleh, that the dynamic of war between two countries has completely changed. Now, army and the senior headquarter leaders, army leaders are the direct targets of the Pakistani terrorists. And the sort of radicalization which has taken place in the valley has also given a fillip to Pakistan. But setting that aside, I would say yes, it's a good step for one simple reason, that the Kartarpur corridor has nothing to do with the other issues. And perhaps, you know, it's just a throwback to the Vajpayee doctrine. You know, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, in his earnestness, tried to, differentiate and put forward this imagination that Kashmir, core conflict areas and other issues which are contentious should be treated separately and differently. So Kartarpur corridor has neither to do with the core issues, nor it has anything to do with Kashmir, but still it can be open to certain challenges and certain, I would say, closer interaction with by both the government for the benefit of the common people. So that way, I think it helps the pilgrims. I wouldn't say it's a confidence building exercise, but definitely I would say it would allow people to reach their holy spots. We have to understand that the partition which took place in 1947, its legacy is far more complex and I would say persistent even today. Many of the holy shrines of Sikh are today in Pakistan. So when the partition took place, it all went accounted for. So even today, when you go to a Gurudwara, the ceremonies, the prayers also include those holy sites which are in Pakistan.
Absolutely. Absolutely, indeed. That is a very significant point. This border between India and Pakistan is essentially a legacy of partition and the British rule that happened. And this, in many ways, is a step that takes things forward. But Kartikeya, this is also needs to be looked at in terms of how it improves confidence. Because what has happened over the years, because the approach that's now being adopted, contrary to the Vajpayee doctrine, who was all for greater people-to-people contact to try cool down the temperature. But what we are now looking is that the relationship has completely been stalled. And therefore, when a measure such as this is taken, this allows people to look at the other side and also perhaps empathize with them, which is important for any long-term sort of a peace to be looked at.
Absolutely. You see, I had the opportunity to ask this question to Dr. Manmohan Singh, if I remember correctly, in 2014 in his last press conference. And when I asked this question to Manmohan Singh, that despite all the overtures, you could not go to Pakistan, Manmohan Singh, in my question in the press conference, said that, well, the situation was not ripe, and I don't think it would have been proper on my part to visit Pakistan. But that was the context of 26/11, and 26/11 completely changed the dynamics. This is. I really don't want to use the word ironic, or I would say it's a strange coincidence. The day we are remembering 26/11, the attacks which actually shook India, is the day when the foundation stone for Kartar, for this Gurudwara, this corridor is being laid, and two are completely unconnected parts of history. But then in one, you had Pakistan attacking India, and on the other, you have this element of reciprocity, and that's the complexity of foreign relations.
Absolutely, indeed. I think you've summed it up really well, Kartikeya. Thank you very much indeed for joining us and getting us those insights. So this is the day which, of course, marks a decade since the horrific attacks that took place in Mumbai. But this is also the day when India and Pakistan have, of course, taken a big step forward to increase the people-to-people contact. The stone-laying ceremony is underway in Gurdaspur. Venkaiah Naidu has, in fact, laid the foundation stone for the Kartarpur corridor. A similar ceremony will be held on the Pakistani side of the border as well, and that will take place on the 28th.